But it's time to move on to our next session, which is the industry keynote. And for this, we will be joined on stage by Ms. Anju Choudhary. She is Senior Director of Builder AI. Earlier, artificial intelligence has, of course, a lot to add, whether it is farming or whether it is defense systems. But let's hear it from her and let's listen to what AI can add to the industry. Let's put our hands together, give her a very warm welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Akra for setting this up, and thank you, each one of you, for making it happen. It's definitely a great platform to motivate young startups such as yourself. I represent Builder.ai. We are a new age app development platform for building custom apps. And at Builder.ai, we really want to ensure that everyone is empowered to unlock their true potential, irrespective of what they know, what they have, and what they're afraid of. And in this process, we want to make software accessible to all. Now, what do I mean by software and accessible to all? Isn't it something that should be there anyways? But let me just give you some background on this. With the shift in the way audience behave and how we expect everything on our phones today, as a consumer, everyone is expecting to have things on their phone, which on the other side puts a lot of demand into the industry. For example, the way we want to order groceries, to the way we want to order our fruits, to, this is the smallest thing to everything else. And now let's just talk few numbers here. India is the 5th largest GDP in the world, and we are the 3rd largest on purchase parity. We are one of the fastest growing economies, and 2/3 of this is domestic driven. We are one of the largest startup ecosystems in the world globally, with 70,000 plus startups and 100 plus unicorns. And then our average acquisition cost is 1/5 of the global acquisition cost. This talks about the volume of new consumer we add. And all of this is possible because we are one of the second largest when it comes to internet usage. And we add one new internet user every 3 seconds. Now imagine the kind of digital demand this creates. And most of this is new demand. And on top of that, we have existing demands that comes from MSMEs and your other enterprises and governments, etc. Now, the only way to provide for this demand, with quality, is to be creative. And I'll tell you why is this important. If we look at the apps that we have in our phones today, most of the features in an app are common. Login, log out, notifications, and many more such features like payments, etc. Right? It's just that 20 to 30% which is unique to every business or unique to a software. So ideally, that is where we should be spending the precious human effort. Why spend this talent on something that has been done 1,000,000 times before? And then comes one of the very important aspects of understanding the different stages of an organization. For example, startups. Now, as we heard the importance of prototype just from our previous guests, startups who has to now pitch for funding would need help around prototypes, right? That's the first stage. So you need to give them the option to just do prototypes, for example. Then comes MSMEs, who may need help to go live as soon as possible and really may not have time to wait for the entire software to go up. So how do you give them the flexibility to just do the MVP, minimum viable product? And then you have really those complex enterprise grade softwares or softwares that government needs, those needs to be run differently. Now, what is the solution to some of this? In this journey, what we are trying to do is, everything that I was speaking around creativity, we've tried to put it in our platform. There are about 500 plus reusable features that we have in our library, which gets picked up, and that human effort that I was talking about is only being spent on customizing either these features to your need of design or to your need of flow, or building new features that is core to your software. And rest everything happens as part of existing features in the platform. And then in running a software, we also realize that there are different services that you need. For example, you may need integrations with third-party softwares, you may need CRM, you may need ticketing softwares, etc. So there's a marketplace that can ensure that, or cloud services. So there is a marketplace that can ensure that your software is running at all times. Now, by doing all of this, what we've been able to achieve is a failure rate which is 0%. We are able to deliver software at fixed price with accurate deadlines. The entire process becomes very transparent because it's a platform. 95% of our projects are predicted well, and then we are able to manage these projects end to end, and there's no lock-in, obviously. There is a testimony for me to talk about. We've been recognized by Gartner, and even in terms of revenue numbers, we are one of the fastest companies to achieve 100 million run rate. At this stage, I would like to play a video. Video, please. Yes, there's no audio. The system didn't allow to play dual video, but the idea was to talk about innovation and how ideas really drive the innovation for any country. Okay, coming back, any questions? Okay, I don't think so we have any. Thank you so much once again. Thank you.